Colonel Bundy wrote, Qaidism is still in Lahore and is being kept there as he still runs a low temperature, and it is not wise for him to make the air journey. Everything is as a consequence at a standstill. Any file sent by me to the private secretary is either not shown him at all, or else comes back with the remark that he cannot attend to it until he returns here, and as that date is indefinite. Nobody knows what to do. Even the ministers are devastated as they can get no decisions on anything. During these weeks of illness in Lahore, the Qaid was the guest of the governor of the West Punjab, Sir Francis Moody, who had known him through many hazards and arguments since 1936. It is perhaps touching that Jinnah should have endured this terrible crisis as Governor General of Free Pakistan, while he was the guest of an Englishman, one who had stayed and all who wrote. Jinnah impressed me more, I think, than anyone else I have ever met, and I was very fond of him. It is difficult to say why. He was cold, at least that was the impression he gave, but I never found him harsh. He was, of course, hard. He never, if he could help it, compromised. Officially, until the end, when he was obviously very ill, I found him open to reason or at least to argument. I got to know that I could trust him. Absolutely, he was thoroughly loyal to those who had supported him in the past. In judging Jinnah, we must remember what he was up against. He had against him not only the wealth and brains of the Hindus, but also nearly the whole of British officialdom, and most of the home politicians who made the great mistake of refusing to take Pakistan seriously. Never was his position really examined. Sir Francis Moody has recalled, he was in bed in my home in Lahore for 3 weeks, and never even by a sign indicated that he would not shortly be all right again. On 1st December, Qaid-e-Azam returned to Karachi from Lahore. Colonel Bunny wrote in his diary, I was quite definitely shocked to see him. He left here 5 weeks ago, looking 60 years of age. Looks well over 80. I drove from the airport with him and Miss Jinnah and felt most sorry for him. He openly said that his fever was due to mental strain and that he prayed for a chance of getting away anywhere where nobody could worry him for at least a fortnight. 2 days later, the Governor General seemed stronger. Colonel Burney had arranged a ceremony. The bodyguard posted and all the staff in full dress white and civilians in morning coats to receive the envoy extraordinary and special representative of the King of Afghanistan. The kite went through the ceremony well. As Christmas Day came near, Jinnah's last birthday, he enjoyed a refreshment of spirit. No occasion showed this more pleasantly than the night when he dined with the officers of the Royal Scots. Before they sailed for home, it was a grand dinner, with silver trophies on the tables, pipers, and wines most carefully chosen. At the end, the Princess Royal was toasted. As Colonel in Chief of the regiment, then the King, it is an old rule with the Royal Scots that no further toasts are proposed at dinner. But on this occasion, the commanding officer rose and said, looking at Qaid Azam, Your Excellency, it is such an honor to have you with us that I am going to break tradition. We consider ourselves good fighters. We consider you to be a good fighter also. The Qaid stood up and said, Gentlemen, may I further break the tradition of your regiment and reply, I shall never forget the British who have stayed in Pakistan to help us begin our work. This I shall never forget. On the way home in the car, Jinnah opened his heart to Colonel Burney and spoke of his debt to his sister for her long years of devotion to him, and for the way in which she had helped to lead the women of Pakistan towards emancipation. He spoke also of his admiration for the British. He said, Yes, that is the thing you have got. That is it. Traditions are the strength of your country. There had been only one continuous disagreement between the Qaid and his military secretary. The colonel could not induce Mr. Jinnah to sanction arrangements for his own protection, which seemed necessary with so many wild assassins at large. He had asked for authority to build a high wall that would shut off the part of government house. in which the Qaid lived. When the plan was first proposed, Jinnah had answered, "It is very nice of you to take precautions, but I am not the sort of Governor General you have been used to. I am one of the people. No harm will come to me." Colonel Burney had protested, "But the Hindu might shoot you." And Mr. Jinnah had repeated, "No, I am here with my people. No harm will come to me." He had added the characteristic remark, "Anyhow, it is a waste of money." The colonel's term as military secretary was almost ended, and the Kayat had asked him to start looking for a suitable substitute. Colonel Bundy wrote, "I gather he again wants an Englishman, but it seemed he would have to depart having lost his this one battle over the protecting wall." Then events suddenly helped him to final victory. On 30 January 1948, soon before Colonel Burney sailed for England, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated in New Delhi. Qaid was staying at his little beach house a few miles from Karachi when the news reached him. He drove back to Government House, and while walking up the stairs with Colonel Burney, he said, "About that wall, you can start building it immediately."